Bienvenidos a un nuevo episodio de Vampyr. Vamos por el episodio número 3. Espero que estéis escuchando absolutamente todo, las animaciones también, porque estamos teniendo problemas. Bienvenidos noobers, que no os lo he dicho. Estamos con Vampyr y de momento estamos en el hospital, ¿vale? He parado la partida anterior para empezar con este nuevo capítulo. Me ha faltado información de ella, me gustaría poder hablar con ella, pero es que se escapa. Es que se nos escapa. Vale, a ver, terminar de hablar con ella. Tenemos lo de el doctor, el señor Hampton, ya tenemos toda la información que la teníamos en el vídeo anterior. Vamos a hablar de Swansea.
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Vale, la verdad es que muy amigable no es. Todo hay que decirlo. Vale. O sea, está literalmente ahí arriba. ¿Cómo subo? Pues no lo sé. Pero vamos. Que he entrado por aquí. Y por aquí puede ser que haya algunas escaleras, una entrada, un algo. No. No. Vale, vamos a ver si aquí hay algo que coger. No hay nada. Tampoco podemos dormir, obviamente. Vale, entonces por aquí no podemos hacer nada. Y ella se ha ido. Vale, yo no sé si podemos hablar con el resto de la gente que hay aquí. No sé qué nos contarán.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
Y nos faltan pistas para hablar con él algo más. No tenemos nada más. ¿vale? Y nos faltan las preguntas personales, vamos a ellas. No, nada, no pistas requeridas.
Goodbye,
Adiós,
Dr.
bye
Tibbets.
bye, Dr. Tibbets. Vale, vamos a andar un poquito por aquí, vamos a trastear a ver si existe la opción de que me quede algo, parece que no. Así que vamos a seguir a todo el mundo, que todo el mundo pues va para el mismo
Dr.
lado.
Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
Vale. Y entonces ahora vamos a ir hacia donde nos dice el objetivo. Vale, vamos a hablar con esta mujer.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
Vale, vamos a hablarle de su vida en Londres.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
Bueno, parece que no es muy positiva acerca de cómo funciona la situación y cómo va a ir en adelante.
How long have you been a nurse?
Or long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
Vale, le vamos a decir que le sorprendería, vamos a darle algo
You'd
de
be
ánimo.
surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
Vale, bueno, parece que no es la más amigable de todo el centro. Y vamos a ver, a preguntarle cómo le lleva el equipo, que nos va a decir que mal.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Porque los
Why
médicos
does
en
Milton
concreto, vamos a
dislike
preguntarle.
doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned. Milton is not the chatty type.
Y vamos a preguntarle que por qué Milton
Why
está
is
con ellos.
Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Vale, ya vámonos para atrás. Y atrás otra vez. Y no sé si podemos hacerle preguntas personales. No, porque necesitamos pistas. Y de su vida en Londres le hemos preguntado todo lo que podíamos, menos la pista.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Vale, así que lo vamos a dejar. Os cuento un poquito acerca en lo que voy avanzando. Uy, no sé por qué se me ha ido. Bueno, en algún punto os hablaré también de lo que es... nada, por aquí no podemos hacer nada. A todos los que vayamos encontrándonos vamos a ir hablando con ellos, ¿vale? Por el momento vamos a ir a donde es el auto guardado. Y por si no lo sabéis, la gripe española fue una epidemia de 1918, que bueno, literalmente fue una pandemia de gripe, que como podéis imaginar, pues en aquella época pues no había los medios y entonces pues por eso se llamó, por eso la gripe española supuso tanto problema para absolutamente todo el mundo, solo por aquí, ¡tling! Dato importante.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Vale, vamos a hacerle la misma ronda de preguntas que a todos, ¿vale? La vida en Londres, por ejemplo.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
¿Qué le hizo decantarse? O hábleme sobre sus experimentos. Vamos a
What
preguntarle
made
por
you
qué.
choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
Bueno, básicamente pues parece ser que le hemos inspirado. Vamos a decirle que estamos encantados de ayudarle.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
Vale. Hábleme de su
I
experiencia.
based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
Eso está clarísimo. Vale. Dicho esto, vámonos para atrás. Vamos a preguntarle sobre el hospital.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Si necesita
Do you need
ayuda.
help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy
Han
for you?
desaparecido.
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Vale, si tenemos tiempo vamos a acercarnos. Vamos a decirle que parece
You seem
bastante
quite
optimista.
optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True, true. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Vale. Bueno, pues la situación es un poco mala, por así decir, pero eso también es cierto, que él dice que siendo hombres de ciencia van a conseguir la respuesta, y vamos a por las preguntas personales. Vale. Vamos a preguntarle sobre su técnica de transfusión de sangre.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Vamos a
Tell
ver
me
qué le
Mr.
pasa al señor
Fiddick's
Fiddick.
story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
¿Qué ha hecho?
This
Debe ser
personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior, a man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Bueno, en parte tiene algo de razón. Vale. Algo raro tiene este hombre, Vale. Vamos a irnos atrás y vamos a ver sobre su vida en Londres si no nos ha cambiado nada. Vale, pues vamos a
Goodbye,
decirle que
Dr.
adiós.
Strickland.
As for me,
blundering idiot.
Y ahora mismo... Vale, vamos a hablar con este hombre de aquí. Que
Good
seguro
evening,
que es
sir.
interesante.
I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick.
Ah, es
All I
Fiddick.
want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Vamos a ver sobre su vida en Londres.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Vale, bueno, es un buen carpintero. No sé qué está pasando con
Are you
Fiddick.
satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable, and your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies.
Vale, no le podemos operar nosotros.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Bueno, este está un poquillo enfadado con el mundo. Vale, vamos a preguntarle cosas personales. Y vamos a preguntarle por qué se siente culpable por su herida.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
¿Por qué? Su mujer murió por su culpa, ¿por qué?
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
Ah, porque se ha visto envuelta en la guerra.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
Vale, parece que no está de muy buen humor. Vamos a preguntarle
Tell me
sobre la muerte
more
de su
about the death
esposa.
of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army, building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
Bueno. Fueron
I'm
muchas las
sorry for your
víctimas.
loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have.
Vale, lo único que le quedan son sus hijos
little
y
bleeders.
parece ser que obviamente tienen hambre. Pues vamos a preguntarle
How
cómo
are your
están.
children
No creo que
after
estén.
losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Ellen didn't bring them with her that night.
Vale, bueno, pues dice que lo único bueno es que no se llevó a sus hijos con ella. Vale. Dicho esto, creo que hemos terminado todas las preguntas que le podíamos hacer a Fiddick.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen. As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Vamos a tratar de hablar con absolutamente todo el mundo. Este es un doctor. A lo mejor es el otro
Good
doctor
evening,
de la...
Dr. Strickland.
And good
Ah,
evening
vale,
to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
Vale, vamos a ver si tenemos desbloqueada alguna pregunta más, que parece que no. Y las preguntas personales, que parece que no. Vale, pues vamos a dar... Ah, bueno. Bueno, aquí está en azul.
Tell me more about your
Vale,
willingness to
nos va a
experiment
contar
with
más.
new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him?
Vale,
or to
volvemos
prove
a
your
lo mismo.
point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Vale. Bueno, pues parece que nos hemos quedado exactamente igual que antes. No sé por qué la tenemos
Goodbye,
en
Dr.
azul,
Strickland.
pero la tenemos en azul. Así que nada, ya se está grabando el juego, se está volviendo a grabar el juego y tenemos aquí una enfermera con la que me gustaría hablar si se estuviera quieto un poco. Vale,
What
ya
can I
está.
do for you, Doctor?
Ah, vale, vuelve a ser Annie. Dorothy, perdón.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Vale, pues entonces lo que vamos a hacer va a ser buscar. O sea, tenemos que encontrar ahí el...
My sweet girl.
¿Veis lo que nos está marcando? Vale, ¿dónde nos está marcando? A ver, a ver, a ver, a ver. Vale, nos está marcando por aquí. Ay, mirad, aquí tenemos otra persona delante. Vamos a hablar con él.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed, yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome
Ackroyd?
aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swans's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Bueno, nosotros hemos sido muy buenos profesionales en el pasado, así que no sé qué le pasa con nosotros, la verdad.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
La hostilidad está de
There is
más.
no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital instead of a burden.
Vale. Lo que le preocupa realmente es que nosotros, pues como el doctor es como muy famoso, etcétera, que estemos más pendientes de la prensa que de los enfermos.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Vale, bueno, pues no nos tiene mucho aprecio.
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure. But my young colleague obviously disagrees.
Vale. ¿Por qué se
Why do
hacerse
you
cargo de la
wish to lead this
intervención?
surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
Ah, asumir
If
las
you are going to
consecuencias.
lead this surgery, I'm trusting you to assume the consequences of your actions. whatever the result.
I'm not the kind of man who runs away from his responsibilities, Dr. Reed. There is no need for you to be looking over my shoulder.
Voy a preguntarle si la rivalidad influye en su perspectiva.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
Vale, vamos a darle para atrás. Tenemos todo preguntado y vamos a hacerle las preguntas personales. ¿Malos recuerdos en su servicio
It
militar?
seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. I don't know what you've heard about me,
Vale.
but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
El conocimiento es nuestra principal arma.
Knowledge has always been and will remain our main weapon. And it has always come at a price. And personal initiative.
It is not a question of initiative. It is a question of integrity. These men and women have put their faith in us, Dr. Reed.
Vale. Bueno, hasta ahí hemos llegado con él.
Thank you
Le
for your
decimos
time.
adiós.
We'll talk later.
Vamos a ver si quítate de en medio. ¿Podemos hablar con el paciente? No, este paciente va a estar complicado, claro. Vale. Vamos a venir por aquí y vamos a ver para dónde tenemos que ir. Vale. Vale, tenemos que ir por aquí. Yo no sé, no paro de dar vueltas. Algo pone de 207 metros.
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book. I never could keep anything from
Vale,
her.
vamos a salir por
I
aquí.
cannot enter.
Cannot enter. Vale. Yo creo que vamos a hablar con esta persona de aquí. Y vamos a buscar a la cara esa que nos está saliendo todo el rato. Creo que va a ser la mejor opción.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
Vale, es Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Vale, vamos a
Can I
preguntar si
do
podemos
anything
hacer
for your
algo.
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Vale. ¿Quién le está
Who
tratando?
is
Vamos a
treating you?
preguntarle.
Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Bueno, la verdad es que no está muy bien, lo podríamos cautivar, pero vamos a dejarlo porque además tenemos una pista requerida. Sobre preguntas personales vamos a preguntarle si sirvió durante
Where were you
mucho
stationed,
tiempo.
sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
Vale, realmente nos ha dicho que bueno, que cuando uno es un oficial, pues que no vive la
Goodbye
guerra
for
lo
now,
mismo que
Mr.
un
Elwood.
soldado.
Fear and disgust on every street corner. The daily routine.
No sé quién es, pero vamos a darle.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr.
Mr.
Reed, is it?
Hampton.
Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Bueno. ¿Cómo acaba en la
How
guardia
did you
William
end up
Bishop?
in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
¿Por qué lo secuestró?
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
Hawcroft creo que es la camarera, si no recuerdo mal. ¿Es usted un héroe o muy estúpido?
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Vale, bueno, pues es una persona como muy creyente de que podía salvarle.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Parece ser que el Turtle, el Turkish Turtle funciona muy bien, porque no, así no hay corrupción ni desesperación.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
Vale, de corrupción no me quiere contar nada. De
People are still in
desesperación, vamos a
despair.
ver
How
qué
could it be
nos cuenta.
otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Vale.
Do you know Tom Watts,
Oh.
the bartender from the
Vale,
Turtle?
bueno, le he dado otra vez.
I met him before I found you in the canning
Iba a
factory.
decir-
Tom? Yes, of course.
en inglés,
Always the
porque
helping
tengo
hand, good
esa
old
manía.
Tom. Without men
Pero
like him, corruption and despair would have wiped
básicamente,
out
pues,
the
nos
East
está
End
contando
long
un poco
ago.
cómo está la situación. Vamos a ir atrás porque todo esto ya lo hemos preguntado y vamos a ver cuál es la situación en los muelles del East End, aunque está
What is
visto
the general situation
mal.
in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers Trade Union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
¿Ha recibido amenazas o quién dirige la banda? Quien dirige la banda es quien dirigía a los que
Who
me estaban
leads the
atacando
gang
a mí.
now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth
Mira,
Digby.
tenemos que habernos cargado a Clay Cox, porque Clay Cox es quien dirige la banda del muelle.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Vale. Bueno, pues justo Clay Cox era la persona menos indicada para salvar, pero bueno. ¿A qué se dedica?
What do you
Vamos a
do
ver
for a
qué se
living,
dedica.
Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Vale, básicamente es un sacerdote, yo creo.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor.
No.
I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Pues yo creo que sí es un sacerdote. Bueno, a ver, le faltan cosas, pero yo creo que sí.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Vale, pues su cruz no le ha servido
How
mucho.
do you feel,
¿Y cómo
Mr.
te
Hampton?
encuentras? La siguiente pregunta.
Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
Que si ha
Have you made
amistad
friends
con alguien
since you
desde su
arrived?
llegada.
Not really. But I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
Vale, bueno. Pues ya no tenemos mucho
Goodbye,
más
Mr.
que
Hampton.
preguntarle.
We'll talk again later.
Seguramente más adelante nos dará más información. No sé dónde está la persona que necesitamos encontrar. Vamos a ver.
See her again.
Vale. Básicamente estamos perdidos por aquí. A ver, nada. Mira, aquí hay alguien. Vamos a hablar con él. No vamos a hablar con él porque se nos escapa todo el mundo. Ahora,
Good evening,
ya.
sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Vale. Vamos a preguntarle, a ver, nada. Personal no le podemos preguntar nada. Su vida en Londres. Vale, vamos a preguntarle.
How
por
is
la
the situation
situación.
around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
Vamos a preguntarle si trafica con armas.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
Vale, bueno, bien. ¿Cuál es su función aquí?
So what do you do
Llevar
exactly in this
ambulancia.
hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
¿Cuál es la situación sanitaria?
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
Pues va a decir
It's
que
a
muy mala.
complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
Suena como
It
si
sounds
hubiese
like
pasado
things
mal.
have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing in. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital? That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Su reputación médica.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Vale, pues está claro que no está muy contento.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Vale. Entonces tiene un montón de armas. $196, una pieza de empuñadura, una pieza de gatillo, una pieza de empuñadura corriente. Aluminio en polvo. Esquirla de aluminio. Y tornillo. Más que la... Ya lo tenemos. Entonces este no. Vale, no tenemos balas. No tenemos esto. Esto tampoco. Esto no nos deja. Ah, porque no tenemos dinero. Vale, pues ya está, ya no tenemos... Ahí ya no tenemos nada más. Le da el escape. Uy, Dios mío.
I thought last summer's epidemic was difficult.
Vale. El punto de autoguardado es el que señala por aquí. Vale, y el hombre íbamos por el buen camino, así que vamos a salir a la calle otra vez. Que salimos por aquí y vamos a buscar a la cara, este rostro que teníamos por aquí. Entonces, las opciones se me están agotando, si os digo la verdad. Descansa para evolucionar y tengo que ir a mi despacho, que con un poquito de suerte lo voy a encontrar. Por el momento vamos a dejar el vídeo aquí. En caso de que se pierda todo porque no esté grabado automáticamente, yo mañana lo hago sin teneros a vosotros aquí. Espero que os haya gustado muchísimo. No olvidéis darle al like si os ha gustado y suscribiros. Vamos a hacer una serie con absolutamente todo el juego hasta que nos lo terminemos de pasar, aunque acordaros que este juego va a ir en función de cómo vosotros lo vayáis jugando, pero igualmente yo os voy a dejar toda mi experiencia aquí. Tenéis también subida de los Sims y vamos a tener también el Jurassic World más adelante. Así que muchas gracias por estar ahí, por ver el vídeo hasta ahora y noobers, nos vemos en el siguiente vídeo. ¡Chao!